squinting gunslingers and gruff cops, that's Clint Eastwood, right? But at 93, has the Hollywood Titan changed? Let's talk about the real Eastwood behind the glare. His life today might surprise you, defying expectations like a plot twist in one of his films. From iconic roles to unexpected hobbies, Eastwood's current chapter is as compelling as any Western shootout. First things first, is Clint Eastwood even still working? He is! This Hollywood legend isn't riding off into the sunset anytime soon. In fact, Eastwood was last spotted behind the camera in late 2022, directing his latest film, Juror Number 2. That's right, at 92 years old, he was still calling action and cut on a movie set. Eastwood doesn't just direct. Oh no, he's a real jack of all trades. He produces, he acts, he even composes music for his films. Is there anything this guy can't do? Now, you might be thinking, sure, but how good can these movies be? The guy's in his 90s. Well, hold on to your hats, because Eastwood's recent films have been critically acclaimed. His 2018 film, The Mule, raked in over $174 million at the box office. But wait, there's more. Eastwood's 2019 film, Richard Jewell, was praised by critics and even earned an Oscar nomination. Clint Eastwood is known for his hard work. However, his home life is unexpected. Unlike typical Hollywood stars, he doesn't live in a lavish mansion. Instead, his choice of home reveals a different side of him. It offers a peek into the private life of a movie legend. Clint Eastwood's living situation is pretty interesting. He calls Carmel-by-the-Sea California home, a place he knows well, having served as its mayor from 1986 to 1988. But don't picture him in some over-the-top celebrity mansion. Eastwood prefers a more down-to-earth lifestyle, residing in a comfortable ranch-style house that's nice but not overly flashy. What's really eye-opening is how much of Carmel Eastwood actually owns. Over time, he's acquired huge chunks of land in the area. We're talking about a 22-acre estate and a massive 1,067-acre ranch. As if that wasn't enough, he even owns his own golf course. Eastwood's home itself is pretty impressive too. He has a sprawling 15,000 square foot estate in Carmel that he built when he was 80 years old, costing around $20 million. It's got amazing views of the coast. But Carmel isn't his only property. Eastwood owns homes in various locations, including a $30 million Spanish-style house in Bel Air, Los Angeles, and places in Burbank, Sun Valley, and even Hawaii. As for cars, Eastwood's got quite a collection. He owns classic beauties like a 1955 Cadillac Eldorado convertible and a 1966 Ferrari 275 GTB. There's also the iconic 1972 Ford Gran Torino from his movie Gran Torino. His collection includes both vintage cars and modern luxury vehicles, showing his love for automobiles spans different eras and styles. Speaking of golf, did you know Eastwood is a huge golf enthusiast? He doesn't just own a golf course, he plays regularly too. In fact, he's been spotted at several celebrity golf tournaments over the years. Not bad for a guy in his 90s, right? But here's the real kicker. Eastwood doesn't just use his land for himself. He's actually dedicated large portions of it to land conservation. That's right, this tough guy actor has a soft spot for Mother Nature. Who would have thought? Now you might be wondering, how does a 93-year-old man stay healthy enough to direct movies and play golf? Well, Eastwood's diet and fitness routine is something else. First off, Eastwood is a big believer in clean eating. He sticks to a diet high in fish, fruits, and vegetables. Red meat? Not on Clint's plate. He also avoids sugar and keeps his portions small. But here's where things get really interesting. Eastwood doesn't just eat healthy. He's downright scientific about it. He actually gets his blood tested regularly to make sure he's not eating anything that disagrees with his body. And get this, Eastwood has been following this strict diet for decades. He started way back in the 1970s, long before clean eating was trendy. Looks like he was ahead of the curve in more ways than one. But diet is only part of the equation. Eastwood also stays active with daily exercise. He's a big fan of meditation and yoga, practices he's been following for over 40 years. Think that sounds a bit new age for a tough guy like Eastwood? Well, it just goes to show, you can't judge a book by its cover. Now, let's talk about Eastwood's family life. Eastwood has been married twice in his life, but he's fathered 8 children with 6 different women. But here's the surprising part. Despite his reputation as a ladies' man, Eastwood is actually a devoted father. He maintains relationships with all of his children and even works with some of them in the film industry. His youngest daughter, Morgan, was born when Eastwood was 66 years old. Today, she's 26. And Eastwood is still actively involved in her life. Can you imagine having a dad who's old enough to be your great-grandfather? But it's not just his kids. Eastwood is also a proud grandfather. He has 5 grandchildren, and by all accounts, he dotes on them. Who would have thought the man with no name would end up being such a family man? So, what's Eastwood's secret to living such a full life at 93? Well, according to the man himself, it's all about attitude. Eastwood is famous for his "don't let the old man in" philosophy. He believes that age is just a number, and that you're only as old as you feel. And judging by his active lifestyle, Eastwood must be feeling pretty young. But it's not just about staying active. Eastwood is also a big believer in living in the moment. He once said, "Tomorrow is promised to no one." It's a philosophy that served him well in his long and varied career. And get this, Eastwood doesn't believe in retirement. He's been quoted as saying, "I don't believe in retiring as long as you can still walk and talk." Well, he's certainly living up to that belief. This is a man who's lived life to the fullest. From his continued work in Hollywood to his commitment to health and family, Eastwood is redefining what it means to be a nonagenarian. He's not just surviving in his 90s, he's thriving. But perhaps the most mind-blowing thing about Eastwood's life today is how different it is from the tough guy image we associate with him. The man who made his name playing hard-boiled cops and stoic cowboys turns out to be a nature-loving, yoga-practicing family man. So what can we learn from Clint Eastwood's life today? Maybe it's that it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Or perhaps it's that age really is just a number. Or maybe, just maybe, it's that there's more to all of us than meets the eye. One thing's for sure, Clint Eastwood's life today is far from what we might expect. And isn't that just the most exciting thing of all? So, the next time you watch an Eastwood film, remember, the man behind the camera is even more interesting than the characters on the screen. And who knows? Maybe in another 93 years, we'll be writing about how Clint Eastwood is still going strong at 186. Now that would really blow our minds, wouldn't it?
And the Oscar goes to Clint Eastwood for $1 Million Baby.
I'd like to thank my mother, who was here with me. In 1993, she was only 84 then, but she's here with me again tonight, and she just